Hello Internet, how's it going? It's another wonderful Tuesday. Normally I'm going to be uploading a Ruby review today, and I'll still be doing that. It should be uploaded moments after this. But I wanted to just take a moment right now and make a little, share a little bit of an opinion of my own of something that's been currently going around. I don't know if any of you have heard about it, but there's been certain allegations that have been set towards a particular voice actor that, is quite famous. And these allegations are nothing mild. These are quite serious allegations. And I just wanted to share my own two piece about it, since a lot of people have been doing that. And, I have no other real way of communicating to you guys. Apart from Twitter, which, let's face it, is not really a great way to just talk. I really wish I could get a Reddit page up and going, but just don't have the time right now. As you can see, I haven't even shaven right now. I've been working my butt off this weekend just to get some stuff done. It's one of the reasons why this video hasn't come out sooner. But, anyways, if any of you might not know who I'm talking about, it's real easy to look up. The guy's name is Mignogna. Now, if you may not recognize that name, you may recognize some of the things he's done. He's played various characters in literally just a bunch of different shows. Some of the main shows that he's been sticking with, though, is the anime community, where he does many of the English dubs. One of the English dubs that he is very well known for is, of course, the Full Metal Alchemist series, where he plays the main character, Edward Elric. And for some of my more regular viewers who stick with the content that I've been posting recently about Ruby, you'll know him as the voice actor for Crow. And, the allegations that have been put out against him can be summed up in three basic forms. And to be honest, I did not know what to think about them when I first heard of it. But as always, when it comes down to me, whenever I hear some rumors like this, I prefer to wait. It's an unpopular opinion, but I prefer to wait and see how things turn out, just because of the fact that I don't want to be the kind of guy that points a finger at somebody else only to find out that indeed they'd never done anything wrong. But these allegations, like I said, are pretty serious. Now, as I said, three main allegations have been put towards Mignogna. The first one being that he's homophobic, the second one being that he's anti-Semitic, and the third one being something rather serious. And I say this because the first two, to be honest, in today's day and age, is not really that bad. I mean, homophobic, it's something that he can't help, people. I mean, it's in the name, homophobic. It's his irrational fear of things that are the same. But jokes aside, people have been calling him a hater of gays. And the reason behind that is actually kind of stupid. He apparently, and this is why I say you have to wait, because apparently the only evidence for this comes out from him just saying that he doesn't wish to sign fan art, particularly those of the homosexual fan fiction or ship ideas. And to be honest, I can understand that. At the very most, he says that, he's not really truly affiliated with these particular shows. He just voice acts for them. So they're not his shows. He really can't do anything, and he really doesn't want to do anything that might seem as, accepting of certain ideas and ships. And let's be frank, I don't like any ships myself, and I probably wouldn't sign any fan art like that either. It's just a personal choice, and yes, it's not a really popular personal choice, but let's face it, we have to accept that because personal choices are important. If we deny somebody else a personal choice, it's a very slippery slope before we find out that our own personal choices are being denied as well. And while yes, there are certain limitations that need to be taken with that, at the most, it's a simple thing. We can just cough it up to some religious idea. I mean, I believe he may be Catholic. I'm not entirely sure, but at the very most, it is again just a personal choice. And if you don't like it, that's fine. There's plenty other voice actors out there that are more than willing to sign something for you. But Vic doesn't want to, so that's too bad. The other thing, anti-Semitic, is a little bit more serious than just a simple, homophobic, because at the end of the day, even if somebody is truly, hating the gays, that is their personal choice, and we should allow them to have that. Yes, so certain social repercussions are going to come along, but just like, for instance, with the free market, it will come around naturally. Yes, it will take some time, but it will come around. People are going to see him as an asshole and not going to want to stand around him. But an anti-Semitic is a little bit different. Unlike just being uncomfortable around something that, let's just be frank, is not really natural. It's more of a personal choice, along with maybe some biological implications. I don't know. I'm not a scientist here, people. I'm just trying to go off what I know. However, anti-Semitic is a little bit more serious. I mean, if you don't know what that word means, it means somebody who hates Jewish people. This is most evident from, the Nazi parties from World War II, who literally went out of their way to persecute the Jewish people to the point where they mass murdered millions of them. So an anti-Semitic claim is something to be taken serious. However, when it comes to Vic, the only evidence they really can bring forth is the fact that he used one word, Holocaust. And it was just to describe some people who were, I think, screaming or yelling outside of one of the cons. I have no idea what was going on. I was just watched a quick little video on it in which he just said that it sounded like a Holocaust outside. And it was kind of funny because, well, to be honest, that word does not actually connect to the Jewish people. Sure, yes, we know about the Holocaust, but Holocaust is literally like the word gay, or literally like any other word out there. It is just a word that describes something. And just like how gay used to describe being happy, and now, yes, describes also people who are into the same sex, Holocaust merely describes, by dictionary definition, just a mass killing of particular beings, I believe. It mostly refers to humans, but it can be other things. It's one of the reasons why if you were to destroy, and it's not like one person killing, that's what you would be called massacre. No, this is like a social acceptance of the mass killing of certain things for no reason whatsoever, but that you simply hate them. Pardon me. But it doesn't line up with Vic's. I would be by everyone's side if indeed he was somebody who didn't like the Jews. Sadly, we do have people out there. Some of them are running in government. Not going to name names, Democratic Party. But it doesn't line up with Vic's line. He literally just used a word, and of course people are twisting it. And that's why I started with the homophobic and the anti-Semitic before I get to the more serious allegations, because they help establish whether or not these allegations are, valid. Because the reasoning behind them, if they were sort of serious, that like Vic was saying he really didn't like gay people, or he thought the Jews were too greedy or something like that, then yeah, I would say, okay, well, so far this is pretty good. The more serious allegations may actually hold some ground. But so far, everything else has been taken out of context, and actually his words have been literally twisted mischievously by certain people. Which brings me to the more serious allegations. For those who don't know, Vic Mignogna is currently under suspicion of sexual harassment. Now, this is not sexual misconduct, like he didn't actually go out and rape somebody. This ain't Hollywood, at least for him. But sexual harassment is still, nevertheless, really serious. And for somebody who goes to cons and such, it can have some validity to it. However, like I said, with the homosexual and the anti-Semitic stuff that was going around, it kind of puts the sexual harassment on shaky ground. So we have to look into it. And, well, to be honest, after looking at several of the videos, again, looks like the SJWs or the feminists or the man-haters or whoever they may be, just overall bad people who really need to take a look at their lives and wonder, is it really worth hating people? I mean, life is so short. Why the heck are you hating? try to encourage other people and sure, hold them accountable, but there's no need to really get down and hate something like that. Because of the fact, it looks like a lot of these allegations are complete garbage. They really don't hold up in any sense whatsoever. For instance, many of the people saying that Vic has a tendency in which he goes up to some of the conners and he hugs them, kisses them on the cheek and the forehead, and occasionally snuggles and caresses their hair. Now, those are some serious allegations. However, they kind of fall apart when you realize that he doesn't just do that to everyone, but many of the people that he did do them to asked for it. So, again, very shaky grounds for these allegations, or the accusations, sorry. But all it takes is one. So, are there any out there that have some grounds? Well, there are some people who have been putting out stories that he has been rather too close to people. But then people come out saying that, no, that was me in the picture, and I was fully with it. I actually asked him to hug me and kiss me, and to show me the general affection that he usually shows other people. Because people, Vic Mignogna, I don't want to make any true points, but Vic Mignogna sounds like he's Italian. I mean, that's how he actually tells people how to pronounce his name. He says, just think it like an Italian, Vic Mignogna. So, well, I hate to be that guy, but, well, you're the ones who keep saying you should respect other people's cultures, and that's what the Italians do. I mean, I actually have half of my family as Italians. The half side of my father's is Italian. And that's what they do. Growing up, I thought it was weird as heck, but that's what they would always do. Every time they would meet somebody, they would just like grab them, hug them, kiss them on each cheek. Yes, occasionally they would kiss on the forehead. It usually had to do with elderly people kissing younger people. My grandma mainly, but occasionally my grandfather did do it. My uncles will do it sometimes. And it was, again, to show that kind of familiar affection, to show that we truly care. As for the whole snuggling and rustling the hair, let's face the facts. If a woman did that, we probably wouldn't complain. But a guy does it, and of course we're supposed to freak out. Be honest, as far as I can tell, because I'm the kind of guy who, let's face it, before any of you started claiming that I'm a rape apologist or anything like that, know this. If I were to see some guy doing those terrible things to a woman in an alleyway, they would have to call a CSI and surgically remove what's left of him from the pavement. Granted, I would probably have no memory of it, but you get my point. I'm not somebody who takes that kind of thing lightly. In fact, we live in a society that does not take that lightly at all. In fact, I think the only people who would actually approve of any of those actions, or at least mildly approve of them, are people who would do them themselves. But we don't live in that kind of society. I'm sorry, I know some of you like to think that we do, but we don't. We live in a society that despises those kind of actions. They're one of the reasons why, if you go to jail for those actions, whether it be raping somebody or killing kids or, fill in the blank for some of the more serious stuff, you're likely to get the crap beaten out of you. But did Vic Mignogna do it? Well, sadly, a lot of the evidence is coming up not. In fact, a lot of the allegations are being dropped because they have no validity to them whatsoever. In fact, many of them are being fabricated. I'm not talking about, oh no, it's just somebody who took something out of the hand, and to be honest, it depends on how you look. No, literally, people are going online saying, hey, can you Photoshop this? Hey, can you dig up this kind of video and put it in this particular light because it'll make them look bad? I mean, you don't have enough time in your day? What, you need a hobby or something? Really have to go after a man. I can understand why the people are doing this. To be honest, there's a psychological reason behind it. We are a social creature here, we humans. We need that kind of connection, and it's one of the reasons why office gossip has a tendency to spread like wildfire. This is very similar to it. People jumping on the bandwagon saying that, he did this, even though he didn't do any of that, and you're just lying, more or less, just to pretty much get some fame and attention. And sadly, it's not just, some random troll on the internet. No, indeed, some of these are his own supposed friends. Now, all I have to say to those friends, shame on you. Shame on you, and I sure hope that the bell come toll, and, well, it seems that the bell is coming toll. A lot of people are looking into this, and just literally type in Vic Mignogna's name, and you can see dozens of videos about people trying to defend him. People who have no incentive whatsoever to defend him, yet still doing so. One of my favorites is, of course, Noble from Lost Paws. I've just watched 2 of his videos. One of them, of course, being before the allegations were pretty much dropped, and one being where most of the allegations have been dropped right now. But that doesn't seem to have mattered too much to some of the other things, because sadly, Vic's life has already been affected. Many of his employers, him being an outside voice actor, have dropped him. Many cons have taken him off the list, and to be honest, I think I can understand the whole company's dropping him. They have to save their own face. He is not part of them. He just works for them. But cons? Seriously? Allow this man to come. Allow him to say his own spiel, and if it is bogus, then just let him get ripped apart by the fans. Trust me, fans are not stupid. I know a lot of them are stupid in certain aspects, but we're not that stupid. We'll easily turn on anybody if they are indeed a terrible person. But it seems like Vic isn't a terrible person. And, well, I'm very sad to hear about this, and to be honest, I actually called this. To be honest, I don't like watching political stuff. I kind of hate both sides. I think it's just a bunch of idiots standing in a room shouting at each other, and nothing gets done. But I'll concede ground when somebody decides to do something and it turns out to be the right choice. And, one particular group has been doing stuff for at least 2 years. And that's at least when they've been getting a lot of attention for it. But they like to call themselves social justice warriors. And to be honest, if you like to label yourself like that, you may want to look yourself in the mirror and ask, what am I doing with my life? Because social justice, you do realize that's a first world privilege. I like to take your ass over into a third world country, leave you there for a year, and then come and pick you up. It'll be like a dad kicking you out of the house because you said the house was cold. Oh, no, yeah, sure, go outside. Let's see how cold it is then. Then you'll be appreciative of our heat. Anyways, apparently this is something they've been doing for quite some time. And it hasn't been just, voice actors or actors or Hollywood. They've been going after so many people for such stupid reasons. Now, I can understand if they were going after them in a peaceful manner, trying to get the word out. But most of the time, they're just screaming. Most of the time, they just wreck things. Most of the time, they don't really want to do anything that will help. They just want to vent some anger. And that's not something that we really need in this society. It's something we just don't need in people. You want to vent, I can understand. Vent all you want, complain. But at the end of the day, realize that it's not worth hurting somebody else, regardless of who they are. Yes, if Hitler was here right now, I'd like to talk to him. I'd like to really know what the fuck happened. I mean, seriously, dude, you could have gone down in history as Gandhi, somebody who saved his country, but instead you decided to turn on the Jews? The hell, man? You fucked up, and congratulations. You're now going down in history as one of the most evil people in the world, despite the fact that there are far, far worse people in history. But anyways, in accordance to Vic, some of you may know this already because he got removed from Ruby. Rooster Teeth announced not too long ago that they had to remove him, they had to fire him from voice acting for Ruby, saying that this won't affect their content whatsoever, which I consider bullshit because this would be like this literally would be like firing Barbara or Lindsay, voices that are going to be incredibly hard to reproduce. And let's face it, the fan backlash is going to be immense. In fact, a lot of people were going out there saying, hey, here's websites in which you can pirate Rooster Teeth videos, in which you can watch their content without actually having to worry about ads or anything, in which you can pretty much steal from them, in which I have to say that, okay, two wrongs don't make it right. Please don't do that. I understand why Rooster Teeth made this decision. I think it was the right decision. Vic was at the time being accused, and well, we're looking into it. And it was better for Rooster Teeth, a young company. As much as you guys like to think that they are really great, they're not. They're still a very young company. Literally 5 years ago, they were still just making random junk for the internet. They had really not grown all that much. They just look like they have grown. In fact, over the course of those 5 years, I've noticed key moments that show that they are truly trying to struggle and getting past that moment of becoming an actual legitimate good company rather than, again, something that just works on the internet. But I do think that, yeah, it was a good choice for them to fire Vic. At least put some boundaries around this. Say that, yeah, well, listen, he's being accused of something. He doesn't work with us. He's not part of the company. He just works for us. We outsource him for a voice acting. We need to put some space between each other. But now that Vic is being, found out to be innocent, I truly think that Rooster Teeth should be the big company, the first company, to say, you know what, we're hiring Vic back. The reason behind that? Well, simple. I know it's not gonna look good for a second, but trust me, we're not gonna care. We're gonna be happy that Crow is back. Simply just, all the Rooster Teeth really has to do is say, hey, we needed to put some space between us. He was being accused of some serious stuff. If it turned out to be true, well, at least we fired him. But if it's not, we're just going to hire him back. We know the fans are not going to care. They're going to be happy that Crow is back. And I truly think that that's how Rooster Teeth should handle this. They shouldn't just say, oh, we fired him, we can't bring him back, sorry. Because I got to tell you, there's going to be a lot of fans. I mean, already, Rooster Teeth has gone through volume after 3 of literally losing fans one after another because some say the show isn't as good anymore. Oh, you changed this. Oh, this isn't good. And now that we lost Crow, I mean, they can't kill him off in the story, not without, again, some serious fan backlash. And changing him would be extremely difficult, and not to mention that people are still going to notice. I mean, this, like I said, this has gone everywhere. And, well, I'm such a small YouTuber, to be honest. I only expect about maybe like 30 people to watch my video right now. For those who did, thank you for watching. Please, write what you thought in the comments below. I want to know what you guys are thinking about this. Even if it be something that you don't agree with me, but at least I want to know. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to this, an interesting allegations, and, well, this is why I truly believe where we have to stand by the notion that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. Now, that is more than just a legal sense. That is something that we try to live by. Why? Simple. It's terrible to see a guilty man, a man we know did something wrong, somebody we know was the villain. It's terrible seeing that she got off, that he's walking away scot-free. We hate that. But I can tell you something is worse than that. Watching an innocent person, someone who didn't do it, someone who's completely guilt-free, being convicted of a crime they never did. And even if they are found innocent, it doesn't matter. Their life has changed. That's going to have to stick around them. And yeah, sure, thanks to media, we might be able to change that. Get it out to say, hey, no, listen, people were being jerks about this. It's not going to change the fact that Vic has been fired by all this stuff. There's a lot of cons that don't want him simply because of this bad publicity. All I have to say to those who instigate this, to actually try to go out of their way just to frame this guy, all I've got to say to you is, you really need to reevaluate where you consider things that are important. Is it really important to jump on the bandwagon to demonize a guy who may not have done it? All hands up. Evidence can come out any day that indeed Vic did it all. But again, innocent until proven guilty. Better that they give him all a fighting chance, because if we take that away from one person, guess what? It's very, very slippery slope. Eventually, it's taken away from everyone. All that's needed is somebody to literally stand up and say, they did that, she did this, he is convicted, he is a rapist or whatever. And no one is safe. Not even you. In fact, I think you would be the one that would be the least safe. Because my guess is you're probably one that really doesn't have that many good friends. It'd be so easy for somebody to just turn the tables on you. And I don't want that. Yes, even from you. I don't want that. I don't want that from anybody. It's a terrible shame what's happening to Vic, and I truly hope that, if he didn't do it, that this comes out to light soon, and that all these companies begin to hire him back. Apologies, say that we just needed to put some distance between each other. Sorry that you couldn't come to the con, but, bad publicity and such. We're going to stick by you more prevalently in the future, but we just had to put some distance with this. But anyways, that's just something I needed to say. I'm sorry that this video is so late. I was actually meant to do this on Sunday, but I was just backed up on so much stuff. Anyways, I hope that you're all doing well. Again, write in the comment section, what do you think about this? Because to be honest, when I heard about it, it's apparently been going on for a couple of weeks, but when I heard about it, which was about like a week and a half ago, I just felt sickened by it. Not that Vic might have done it or not, but by the fact that there were so many, and it was already coming out, that so many people were trying to fake evidence just to demonize the guy. I don't care how much you hate him. I don't care how much you may think that he might have done it. Don't do that. It's terrible for him, and it's even worse for you, because this is literally the fable that we try to teach kids. Don't cry wolf. Because when wolf does come around, no one's going to want to believe it. He could be walking in the street, eating people left and right, and no one's going to want to believe it. Because you cried wolf too many times. So, again, life is too short. Why are you hating? Personally, I try to live in a manner where I might not like something. I'm not going to waste my life hating it. It's one of the reasons why I say I don't really hate any videos. I just feel disappointed by them. Not a movie or show has come out recently that I've actually said that it should never have been made. I just think that it should have been made better. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. Sorry about this long video, but I really needed to share this. And to anyone who might actually feel like they were wronged by Vic, my heart goes out to you. And all I have to say is really, life has a tendency to make today's pain be tomorrow's memory. Sure, it's a memory, we'll remember it, but time has a tendency to wash things away. Just give it some time, talk about it. If something really does happen, people, don't hold it in. Just come out with it. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's not easy. But it's like a man who says, I'm not going to the doctor even though I'm coughing up blood because I'm afraid of what the doctor will say. It's not easy, but it's something that needs to be done. If something is truly hurting you like that, you need to come out with it. Don't demonize the guy, but come out with it. Very easily that, yes, some of these people actually felt uncomfortable by Vic. But what didn't make it any better was them holding it in. You feel uncomfortable, just tell the guy. I'm pretty sure he's just going to comply and say, I'm sorry. I mean, heck, that's what actually he did. Anyways, you guys take care. Vic, if by some miracle you actually see this, I pray to God that you didn't do it. And I pray even harder that He watches over you. Watches over your loved ones. You guys take care. Carter out.